Hey guys! Today we're going to be taking a look at the recently released Shadow Guide Pack from Bihn, which is a really interesting 33-liter top-loading kind of all-purpose bag. And this is a little bit different from some of the bags that we've looked at from Bihn on the channel in the past. First of all, it has a really simplified layout as opposed to some of the pocket-heavy bags like the Synapse 25. And this also comes from the design lab within Bihn, which is something that allows the designers at the company to experiment with new designs in smaller batches to see if it's something that they'll want to share with a larger audience. So I was excited to have a chance to test this out, and I've been using it for the past couple of weeks. And so far, it's been a great experience. In this video, we're going to talk through the aesthetics of the bag, the capacity, the build quality, and everything in between. So I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. This is a really kind of classic and minimal rucksack style vibe. And so I feel like this is going to blend in very well into a lot of different environments, particularly while traveling. I really like that it doesn't stand out as too much of a travel and kind of touristic looking bag. And this also feels like it's going to work very well for taking into the outdoors on something like a hike. And then moving into the materials, the bag has a really solid build quality. It's made out of a 525D ballistic nylon exterior. And then on the bottom, it has a 1000D ballistic nylon to help add some additional durability here since you'll be placing this down. But overall, it just feels really solid. And then it's also going to offer a nice amount of weather resistance. And then as far as the buckles and hardware included all throughout, it has some nice Duraflex and Woojin hardware. And then it also has some great YKK zippers all throughout. And these YKK zippers have these reverse coils and also a DWR coating to help add some additional weather resistance. And then continuing along the outside, the bag doesn't really have too much else going on. They kept a very simple and clean layout. On the front, you have a simple loop that you can use to attach something like a bike light, and then you just have the all-black Bihn Design Lab logo. And then moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 33 liters, which is a really great one bag travel bag size. I was impressed with just how much this was able to hold. I fit all the items that I would normally take with me on a 1 to 2 week trip. And I really liked that even when the bag was a little more packed out, it never looked too big, and it still felt good for navigating crowded areas or jumping onto public transit. And then if you have a little bit of a smaller frame or you're looking for something that's going to be better for everyday carry, Bihn is also selling the Shadow Guide Pack in a 23-liter version. And then continuing on with the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. This has the new Bihn edgeless straps that we saw on the Scenic 22, and these have been really nice to have a thick padding. And again, the edgeless straps really prevent these from digging into your shoulders and kind of pinching them. On the inside, there's no sort of meshy material, which would have been nice to help add some breathability, but they've been very comfortable, and I really like the width of the straps, which helps prevent the bag from digging into my shoulders, even when it's a little bit more packed out. And then on top of that, the bag also includes an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. And then down at the bottom, you also have an included removable waist strap here. I don't really love these types of waist strap on this style of bag. I don't feel like they really offer much in the way of support. Sometimes these might be helpful for, if you're wearing this while riding a bike, kind of keeping the bag from moving around, but overall it doesn't offer too much padding, so I normally just take this off, but Bihn does sell a separate, more padded waist belt if you want that additional support. And then moving into the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. This is the first bag from Bihn to feature this new skeleton back panel, which is a nice design. It has a shape that's meant to mimic the human back a little bit better, so it's not just a large piece of foam. You can see here that there's some cutouts that create a little bit more elevation to help with airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. And I also really like that it has this kind of meshy and breathable material, so I think this is a big improvement over something like the Synapse 25, and it's definitely a design I hope to see carried forward into other Bihn bags. And then also on the back paneling, the bag includes a removable frame sheet, which is great for adding some structure to the bag and to help distribute the weight. I like that this is actually removable. I actually keep it in most of the time as I really like how it feels with the frame sheet. And then the frame sheet also has a really nice aluminum stay at the bottom to help just add that extra support while you're carrying this, particularly when it's fully packed out. And then moving into the organizational options, the bag keeps things very simple, but I was really happy to see that they included a laptop compartment that you can access from the side. And so it has this really nice long zipper here, and this is an improvement over something like the Cynic 22 and Cynic 30, which had a little bit more of a curve. This is actually more rectangular shape, which allows you to really pull the zipper open easily, and also just makes it a lot simpler to get your laptop in and out, particularly if you have something a little bit bigger. So currently what I have in here is a 13-inch MacBook Pro, but you can definitely fit up to a 15-inch laptop. On the company site, they also said they were able to fit in a 17-inch Dell XPS, so it just may depend on the size of your device, but definitely a 15-inch laptop. And the compartment itself offers a pretty good amount of padding on both sides. It's also a little bit suspended off the bottom of the ground, so it comes down pretty close. I do wish that they had pulled this up a little bit more. And one thing that I noticed is that even though it's suspended, depending on how you place the bag down on the ground, there's still a chance that your laptop could actually end up touching. But with that being said, the bottom of the bag is pretty well padded to help add some additional protection. And then I love that it has this side access zipper so that you can get it in and out of the bag easily without having to open up the top. And so pulling my laptop out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside, and so I like that this comes up a decent amount, so if you have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in here pretty well. And then no sort of fleece lining or anything like that on the inside, but like I said, a nice amount of padding, and it still feels like my device is going to be well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. And then the next pocket that we're going to be taking a look at is this quick access pocket on the top flap, and this is a really large and voluminous compartment. I really love how much flexibility it offers, and so I'm actually going to flip the bag around because the zipper is on the back of the flap as opposed to the front that we've seen on some other similarly styled bags. But I like this design because it kind of feels like it will prevent items from falling out when you're reaching in, if you have the bag standing up at a coffee shop or something like that. So I really like the placement here. And so looking in, as you can see, a very simple kind of just large bucket of space, which is going to be great for any larger items that you want to carry with you. And so what I currently have in here is my GoPro Hero 3 Plus. And then I also threw in a simple dry bag from a company called Side by Side that, I really love how small this is and that you can just toss this into a pocket. I love carrying these with me to help keep my stuff dry, particularly if I'm traveling and I go to the beach or the pool or something. It's really nice to be able to toss in items and keep everything away from the rest of the items in my bag. And then on the inside of this compartment, one of the things that I really like from Tom Bihn bags in general is that they have this O-ring system. So they have O-rings all throughout the pocket so that you can configure this with the variety of pouches that Tom Bihn sells for their bags. So what I currently have in this pocket at the moment is the handy little thing pouch from Tom Bihn. I've absolutely loved using this. I'll be doing a deeper dive on this pouch in the future and its smaller brother, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. But this pouch has these clips that allow it to attach to the O-ring so that I can pull it out, use it as I need to and not worry about it falling or getting lost or anything like that. And so now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. And this is one of my favorite types of pockets, particularly while traveling, as it gives me the flexibility to store something like a jacket or maybe a larger dopp kit, some toiletries, or even my over-ear headphones so that I can just reach them quickly and not have to worry about opening the main compartment of the bag. And then the last thing that I'll mention in this compartment, kind of tying back to the O-rings, is that the bag does include a little lanyard that you can clip onto the rings anywhere in the bag. That's going to be a great spot for attaching something like your keys or a multi-tool, which is what I currently have here. And then to get into the main area and other compartments of the bag, you have these two adjustable straps that have these simple plastic buckles. I love how easy it is to open these buckles up. And in general, I like this style of bag because it provides a lot of adjustability as far as the volume. So even though this is a larger bag, you can actually tighten this down when it's a little bit emptier to give the bag a smaller silhouette. And it just also, in my opinion, helps to tighten the bag down and help prevent water from getting inside of the main area. And it also provides some additional versatility if you want to put something like a jacket or clip a hat on. You can actually use these as a way to store some larger items that you don't want to place inside of the bag. And so opening these up, on the underside of the flap, you have two additional kind of smaller zippered compartments. So again, keeping things simple but very effective. I love that these pockets have a little bit more volume for larger accessories. So some nice YKK zippers here as well. On the one here on the right, I just tossed in my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. And then I also threw in a little clear pouch that is also from Side by Side, the same company that makes the dry bag that I showed earlier in the video. And this is called their travel kit, which is a really simple kind of set of accessories that's meant to kind of hold all the smaller items that you might need to carry with you while you're traveling. So it's a very simple, clear plastic pouch that you can use for things like cash or even smaller accessories like the ones that I have here. So I have, a little kind of SIM card holder while traveling. It has a SIM ejector tool, and then this is also an area where I can have maybe a picture and a SD card for my camera. And then it also includes a few RFID protected sleeves for any kind of credit cards that I want to add some extra protection to. So just a really nice, simple accessory. And then on the inside of the compartment, you can see you have another O-ring. So if you wanted to pair this with another smaller pouch or the key latch that we saw in the top compartment, you can do so. And then on the other side, you have a similarly sized compartment, same amount of space. And so in this one, I just tossed in my Bluetooth portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank, but this might have also been a good spot to maybe put some cables or anything that I might need while I'm just kind of sitting at a coffee shop and working during my day. And then moving into the main area, as I mentioned in the intro to the video, this is a top loading bag, and I'm always a little bit torn on this layout of bag. On the channel, we look at a ton of clamshell opening bags, and that always has some benefits for traveling, as you can lay the bag flat and pack everything out easily. We see this in some of the designs from Tom Bihn in their Scenic 22 and their Scenic 30, but they actually had a really great article on their website talking about the benefits of a top loading bag like this that really made me kind of appreciate the simplicity of the design. One of the biggest things being just the reliability that you get out of a bag like this, as having a zipper that goes all the way around the bag is a really big point of potential failure. Now, Tom Bihn uses some incredible YKK zippers that are very durable. I haven't ever had an issue with a YKK zipper failing on me, but a few viewers have actually pointed out that if the zipper fails, it really makes it hard to continue to use the bag. Whereas with a bag like this, you just have this rock solid material and a big sack essentially that you can continue to use and not have to worry about any zippers failing on you. And it just has this reliability and simplicity, particularly from this drawstring opening as well. You can just tighten everything down, stuff the bag with all of your stuff, and it just really makes it a very simple, useful experience compared to something like a clamshell bag, which is still very useful, but it does come with its set of complications. The bag can accidentally open on you. And then I like that Tom Bihn has actually included this little loop here at the top, which allows you to hang the bag up, and then you can actually just put stuff in and out of this bag while it's hanging. You couldn't really do that with a clamshell style bag because it might open up on you completely and everything would just spill out. So I like that this has been included, and that as an overall benefit of this bag, particularly if you use a lot of pouches, as we'll see in a second. You can just be at a hotel, hang this up, and actually just pull pouches out and not have to fully empty the bag out. So just a really interesting use case there. Again, pros and cons to a bag like this compared to something like a clamshell bag. But so far, this has been great to use. I like how tightly you can tie this down so that you can prevent any water from getting in when you cover it with the flap. And then because you can open it up, you get a really wide opening so you can see everything that's on the inside. Again, this is a very deep bag. And one of the cons of having a bag like this as opposed to a clamshell bag is that you can't see everything that's on the bottom, particularly with a huge bag like this. Again, 33 liters. It can be a little bit tough to navigate the bag, but you can do a lot to manage that through the use of pouches, as we'll see in a second. So just really love the simple layout. At 33 liters, this is able to hold as much, if not more, than some of the 35 or 37 liter bags that we've looked at on the channel. So the simplicity of the compartment just gives you a lot to work with. And so jumping in at the top, you have some more O-rings that are gonna pair nicely with some of the pouches that we've been seeing and from pouches from other companies. So this one that I have here is a little pouch from Topo Designs that has a carabiner. And then I was also able to attach an item such as my Matador Nano Dry Shower Towel, which also has a carabiner. And then I can just kind of keep these items here and not worry about them getting lost while I'm getting into other parts of the bag. And then continuing on with some of the larger items that I have in here. First up, I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones, and they fit in there really easily. And then the next thing that I have here is the travel laundry stuff pouch from Tom Bihn as well. And I really love this accessory, particularly with a bag like this where you just have a large amount of space. This is great for placing my underwear and my socks while I'm traveling. I can just kind of stuff them in. And then I really like that this has the two sides so that you can separate out the items that are clean and dirty as you go along, and you don't have to carry an additional pouch. So really interesting design here. And then it's super lightweight, and I love how flexible it is with what I can actually store in here. And then next up, I also have a simple just pair of shoes that I threw into a packing cube to help keep them separated from everything else. And then I also have my Air Dop Kit, which is one of the larger Dop kits that I like to travel with. And then the last thing that I currently have in here is my larger double-sided and compressible packing cube from Arkedo, which has my dress shirts, my jeans, and some of my other clothing items. And so all of those items fit in there very comfortably. Again, with that stuff, I would definitely be able to travel for a week. probably 2 depending on how minimally I was packing. And then on the inside you can see it's just a really large bucket of space, no sort of additional organization. So I like that Tom Bihn just kind of leaves it up to you to organize however you want through the use of pouches and the O-ring system that they have. So overall, just a really great, simple design. I love the amount of space that this has. And then I like that I can actually pack it up with some EDC items and adjust the capacity down if I need to. So lots of flexibility, a really simple and effective design. And if you're looking for a spacious travel bag that's going to offer a great build quality and a lot of comfort, then this is going to be a fantastic option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a really great experience testing out the Shadow Guide Pack over the past couple of weeks. The bag has been very comfortable to wear, it has a great build quality, a ton of space, and I really like its simple organizational layout. And so you can currently purchase this on Tom Bihn's site for about $280, which is definitely a bit of an investment, but if you're looking for a spacious and very durable bag that's also assembled in the USA, then it may be worth the additional cost. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag that this made me think of was the Synapse 25, which is another really great offering from Tom Bihn. That one's going to be slightly smaller than this, coming in at 25 liters, but it can still hold a ton of stuff, and it's also going to work a little bit better for everyday carry. That one is also going to be in a slightly lower price range, and if you're somebody who likes a ton of different pockets for organizing all of your stuff, then that's going to be a fantastic option to check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Patagonia Black Hole Pack 32 liter, which we looked at a while back, and that one had a very similar capacity to this. It was also a top loading bag, it could hold a ton of stuff. It's also in a little bit of a lower price range, coming in at under $200. That one may not have quite the same build quality as this, and I don't like the harness system as much, but if you're looking for a similarly styled bag that's going to offer just a little bit more organization, then that's going to be a great option to keep in mind. Another bag this made me think of is the Brevity Roamer 2, which we looked at recently, and that was a really versatile kind of everyday carry and camera backpack. It had a solid build quality, a really comfortable harness system, and that one's going to be a little bit smaller than this. It's also kind of a top loading bag, but a big benefit with that one is that it opens up clamshell style as well, so that you can easily see everything that's on the inside. And so that's just going to be a really solid and versatile option, and if you're somebody who carries a lot of camera gear, then that's going to be another great option to keep in mind. The next bag this made me think of is the Air Travel Pack 2, which is still one of my favorite one-bag travel bags. It comes in at a very similar size to this at 33 liters. It has a great build quality, a really comfortable harness system, and that one's going to have a clamshell style opening for easier packing, and it also has a ton of different pockets to organize all of your stuff. So that's a little bit more of the way that you like to pack, and you're looking for a bag that has a more modern aesthetic, and that's going to be one of the best options to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here, if you have a little bit of a tighter budget, is the Burton Tinder Pack, which actually has a really similar layout and aesthetic to this bag. It's a top loading bag. It has the same kind of heritage style vibe. It has a nice laptop compartment, and that one's going to be a lot smaller, much more of a daily carry bag. And it's also not going to have nearly the same build quality as this, but it does come in at under $100, and it's a really reliable pack that I've had for many years. So if you like this aesthetic and you're looking to save some money, then that's going to be one of the best options to keep in mind. With that being said, the Shadow Guide Pack holds up really well against all those bags, and if you're looking for a simple and spacious option that's going to offer a ton of durability, then this is going to be a great bag to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you think of the Shadow Guide Pack and how it compares to some of the other great travel bags that we've featured on the channel. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.